Hey guys, Frank Curzio here with my daily live update. And I want to share an idea with you that there's a lot of companies that are saying the coronavirus isn't going to impact them as much. And I just don't see that with some of these companies, which is kind of amazing. But I've been doing a lot of research on individual names, especially technology. Technology's been performing okay. Software makes sense, cloud, more data usage. I get it. But one company I don't get is AMD. I know it's a fan favorite. I know a lot of people like it. Again, I don't hate it personally. I just hate the price that it's trading at. I think it's going to go a lot lower. On March 5th, AMD made it a purpose to come out. I don't think NVIDIA even said this at all about coronavirus, but they came out and said, hey, we're not going to really get impacted that much. They said sales are going to decline a little bit and we're going to make it up on the back end. This was March 5th, right? It's a different world 3 weeks later. Uh, right after that report on the 5th, I think it was the next day, Goldman Sachs came out. It's important to understand the sell side analysts. That's a consensus estimate. So Goldman came out and said they expect, after they came out that announcement, AMD, the press release, they said they expect huge margin expansion over the next 4 years, revenue to grow by 20% annually through 2023. Uh, to me, when I'm looking at these numbers and Goldman, if you put everything together and all the growth and all the initiatives and everything, it's kind of funny because their target price on March 6th is $44, right? So they're expecting record margins, record sales, record earnings, all this stuff, everything great. Yet their target is 44, which is below where it's trading now. And it was trading the same levels it was trading at early February, right? So it's like nothing even happened to AMD. If we fast forward to today, Goldman changed their entire market outlook, right? They're expecting GDP to fall by 2%. Now it's 25%. I think they came out, it was either early this morning or yesterday, where they said, on their market forecast, that current valuations, do not reflect a huge decline we're going to see in earnings this year, right? So Goldman, you got to realize this is big, guys. Goldman didn't update their report for AMD, and a lot of sell side analysts haven't updated their reports and pushing numbers on the reports. So use that to your advantage. I mean, the market's moving so fast. The time they write these reports is down 1,000. They may change their mind and go back and forth. Remember, they need data. They have to put all these models together and come up with that, with those target prices. But when I look at AMD, they're expecting data center revenue, which accounts for 30% of total revenue, to grow 45% annually from 2020 to 2023. And I have someone actually email and say, yeah, the data center growth. And Micron just reported, right? Micron reported and said, things are really good and we're seeing strong data center growth. I get it. You got to listen to the whole conference call because when you look at Micron was also saying that it's having trouble getting deliveries from its suppliers, right? Nobody's talking about that. So if you're not getting your deliveries from suppliers, how do you meet demand? So it's not that I don't like AMD, but AMD is trading at 40 times forward earnings. I don't know who in the hell deserves a growth multiple like that in this market when demand is very, very low. I get it. I understand the bull arguments, right? For anyone that owns a stock, where you get the optimism on cloud, optimism on AI, software, game, the 7 nanometer chip. I was at the Consumer Electronics Show when they made a lot of these announcements. So believe me, I'm very familiar with AMD. But at the end of the day, it's a hardware company. And the market expecting record margins, like the company's magically going to have pricing power against NVIDIA, Intel, these major companies that are trading probably cheaper valuations. Intel's definitely a cheaper valuation and a dividend that's safe. But these major competitors are going to be fighting for market share at a time when demand is coming down. And again, I know there's more usage. I know some of their business is okay and the gaming revenue. But remember, the people who buy these $1,200 $1,500 graphic cards, all this stuff are the parents, and they're losing their jobs right now. So be very, very careful. You can't tell me demand's going to be stronger this month and next month and this quarter compared to what it was pre-coronavirus, because right now everything is shut off. And since the 5th, outside of China being turned on, we went on pretty much almost full lockdown. I mean, depending, most states. India's on full lockdown. Europe's on full lockdown, right? So these announcements have come after this. And for AMD to say, hey, everything is fine, trading at 40 times forward earnings, uh, to me, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, again, people are feeding off this from the Micron call. I get the data centers, guys, but the growth for this company, they're expecting explosive growth in a time where growth could be non-existent. And the valuation they're trading is like nothing is wrong. So just be careful. I think it's an easy short here. The average target price on this stock, again, for the bulls out there, is like $49. So you're looking at maybe 10% upside, but for me, I see at least 20% downside. I think it's very favorable, buying puts or showing the stock right now. But be careful with AMD. Seeing lots of companies like this, there's these false moves, the hope behind it, algorithms. Be very, very careful, guy, because when you're looking at individual names, I'm seeing a big disconnect. Like Cheesecake Factory saying I'm not going to pay their rent and go up like 2 out of 3 days. It makes us all want to say, hey, we're not paying our rent anymore. Maybe our company's valuation should go higher when we say that. If the credit rating goes down, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. And they have no working capital. Even when things get better and the government pays them, these companies have no working capital. How are they going to expand their business when things do get turned on, whether it's 3 or 6 months from now? So be very careful out there. Crazy market. It's going to continue to be crazy, guys. Still a lot of uncertainty. But AMD at these levels just really, really doesn't make sense to me. Nobody deserves a growth multiple like that when the entire world is not just not growing, but is going to decline tremendously over the next 3, 6 months in GDP and earnings and everything. So be very careful out there. And I'll report back to you guys soon. Take care.